All right. In this video, one second. I gotta close this door. In this video, I'm going to be going over a few things, answering questions, mostly things pertaining to LunarVim, mostly questions pertaining to LunarVim, but whatever questions you want to ask, I don't really mind answering. Let's see, we're going to be going over a new feature in LunarVim for hot swapping the config in and out. It's going to be pretty interesting. Usually people don't all roll in until like, I don't know, like 40 something minutes into the stream. But anyway, let's see. So let me show you what I've been working on. Let me get a few people in the stream first before, right now it says I got 5 people, I guess. I mean, I guess, all right, these 5 people are going to get to know before everybody else. So, and you'll be able to see while I'm working on this, like what's going on. So, all right, basically, let's get rid of this. Okay, might as well just show it in the config first. So let's close this guy. All right, so basically LunarVim has this concept of a LV config. It's in the root of what, like when you install it, like you get this, right? So the idea is to do things like when you change something in here, you don't want to like close Vim and then, or NeoVim or whatever, and then reopen it to have your changes to take place, right? So like for instance, if all right, so we got Zen mode, right? Let's see. I don't even know if it's active right now. It might not be active. Is it not active? 1 second. All right, so we got Zen mode like this, you can see. All right, let's close this. And you can see, all right, so we got this Zen mode plugin, right? Kind of gets rid of some stuff all around. So you could just see, like, I guess what's there right now. But without all the numbers and galaxy lines gone and the tab lines gone. So I'm just pressing space Z to get that. So, all right, imagine that, okay, this is pretty good. The height is fine, whatever. But instead, you want it to be smaller, right? So what you could do is during the same exact Vim session that you're in, just swap this out for 40, save this file, and now it's smaller, right? And this works for whatever, right? And then maybe, okay, that was too small, and so like you think that 90 might be better, and so you save that, and then you do it again, and now it's bigger, right? So for a while I created this config file just so that other people could use my config and make it easier for them. But now I use this config file because it's actually extremely useful for me to use. It turned out like it started as something that I was like, whatever, it's not really super useful for me. I'm just gonna make sure that like, I don't know, like I'll just hard code whatever I want in there. But I regularly find myself like, you know, dude at work doesn't want this to be auto format, so let's turn off auto format, right? And so then if that's false, you know, that's false, it doesn't work. And then if we go into true and we save again, now it's true, now we have auto format back on. And I don't want to have to close down my whole freaking project when I got like 50 buffers open, and maybe not 50, but you know, probably like 7 or 15 different buffers open, and I got tests going, I got this, that, and the other thing, and I don't want to lose my place in my code, but I want format to be off. So like auto format, like format on save, right? So it's like, how do you do that, right? And so this is how we're doing it now, so it works fine. Now that's been a thing, but it may be that you want to do something else, who knows, right? You want to change like the completion, like for autocomplete, right? So like right now, if you do this and you have O and then you get the autocomplete type deal, like it automatically comes up. If I do O dot, you get autocomplete, right? So what if we do something different, right? What if we come in here and we do false and we save that, and then you come down here and you do O dot and you don't get anything. It doesn't autocomplete until you press tab. When you press tab, that's when it autocompletes, right? So that's the idea. So you press, see no autocomplete, press tab, there's your completion. Now we'll come back over here again, we'll set it back to true, right? And then we'll do O dot. You see already it starts completing immediately when you put O. So maybe you're in a big code base and it's like, I don't want that to show up when I'm trying to do things. Even better, you're in a giant code base and you got completion, and then you're like, okay, well, maybe, let's see, what do we got here? We have sources, right? And then we have this. This is slowing me down. All this extra shit is just slowing me down, right? I don't want this other stuff on, right? Like, I don't want buffer completions, right? So we'll just set that equal to false, and then you don't get buffer completions anymore, right? So we're only getting LSP stuff now. You're not getting buffer completion. So it's getting rid of that. Maybe you need to turn off LSP completions because maybe that's slowing things down. Who knows, right? But you can turn off on the fly all different kinds of completions to, like, you know, slow or speed up whatever you're working on. And this goes for pretty much everything now. Like, we'll just do this once I'm done with this refactor. So, like, basically everything in the config will be hot swappable. It'll just be like any setting that you want. It'll be something that you can turn on and off on the fly, and it'll just happen, right? So, like, I showed you the Zen mode thing. Let's think what else. I'm gonna go through the other ones. I don't know if, yeah, like I have to finish out the other ones. The same will be true for like float term in the future. Like, you want the floating terminal bigger, smaller. You want to position it a different way or whatever. You could do that like without closing anything. So yeah, that's one thing I'm working on. Hey, what's up? Per Pedersen maybe? What's up? Surgeon. Everyone's got these names. Kropotkin. Kropotkin. Henlo, he says. All right, what's up? What's up, Johnny Salas? What's going on? So, yeah, basically that's the new feature. Now, also, I wanted to show some of the stuff that I have working for Java. So, recently I got Java working. I have 2 forms of Java working. Now, I haven't tried it out on Linux, but I did try it on a Mac for work and all. So, if we go into repos and we go into, I think I have this. This is the only Java project. I do Java every day, and this is the only one that I have on my nuke the working tree there on my computer. So we'll do course API. Well, I wonder if it starts if I go inside of there. Okay. I don't know if it actually would. I actually don't want to do it that way. I'm gonna like open it up at its root. All right. So let's see if Java even works. I don't even know if I have Java installed right now. So this is another thing I wanted to get working. So this thing quit immediately. Not too sure why, but that's another thing that I'm going to be working on in the stream. I do have it working for Mac, I know for sure. That means I do have the thing installed, but I'm gonna work on that later. I'm not really too worried about it right now. Right now, the hot swap stuff is what I'm mainly focused on. What's up, Luxus? Bailey Burns said, "What's up?" I think that's German. I think it's German. All right. I don't drink coffee, by the way. I've never drank, well, I drank coffee when I was a kid. When I was like 15, I drank it all the time, like every morning before school. I turned about 19, I quit drinking coffee, and I haven't drank coffee since. I wake up and I just chug water every single day. Let's see. Config, nvim. All right. So now we're going to focus on getting the rest of this stuff ported over to do the same exact thing that thing's doing. So actually, I kind of want to see my whole project here. So what we're going to do is we got compy now. And the nice thing is, too, like I don't have to go and define all this stuff. No one has to define all this stuff. The creator of the plugin just defines it. I don't have to define it anymore. Other nice thing is that it's, while this is a global object and so nothing's really encapsulated, but the settings are namespaced perfectly under this. So if I wanted to get rid of compy, I would just delete this directory and then I would go into default config and get rid of the require that I have at the bottom here, and then it would be gone. I wouldn't have to deal with it at all. So that's also nice. I'm going to do the same thing with the languages. I'm going to have basically a file per language config, and then I'm just going to require it in the default config here. And then that way, because this file, something you'll notice when you're factoring code, I don't know if there's people in the chat, I'm sure, who've worked on, or people watching the video in the future, who've worked on big code bases. And when files start to get really, really, really long, like you can see, we could see this file. If I added every single setting for every single LSP option and plugin option that I have, this file could be thousands of lines long. I mean, at least 1,000 lines long for sure. And for me, that's like totally unacceptable. So basically, that's when you realize you have to start refactoring, and you have to start you have to do things a bit of a different way. You can't just keep cramming shit in, because then you end up with like a really poorly structured project, right? Which it becomes difficult. While it may be obvious that you put all of the settings here, it's just like, yeah, but it's 1,000 lines long, and it's not easy to, get rid of things too. Especially when you're cleaning house and you're doing all different other kinds of stuff and you're refactoring, you want to be able to compose things. You want to get rid of a piece. Like if I want to get rid of a plugin now, I just get rid of the require and it's gone, So let's see what happened to, I want this to be some small base for people to build their own stuff on top of. Will there be a version with less stuff, no options, just something small, just maybe base 4 to 5 plugins? Well, yeah, I mean, so okay, so let's talk about what my future plan is, right? Because here's another thing that you have to realize when you're creating a big project and you're doing things, right? Is the ultimate goal will be to do something like have a section in the wiki, because you can see I have an option for additional plugins here, right? Here we're using Folk's Tokyo Night and the signature thing, right? So if I save, they're installed, right? And then you have your config. So that means there's really no need at all for me to have in the default config and expose a lot of these built-in plugins, right? There's really no need for a lot of them, right? Now these are the built-in ones, right? So it's not even really that many. But what I plan on doing in the future is, instead of doing all this default config stuff with these plugins and whatever else, right? Basically what I'm going to do is, over on the wiki, what you're going to be able to do is just take a little chunk of this and just include it. And then that's it. And then you're done, right? And then you can just have that plugin, and that's, you don't have to think of anything, right? There are some I'm not going to be getting rid of. You'll notice that I didn't namespace the completion stuff for Compy. I didn't namespace it under a plugin. It's a plugin, but I'm not namespacing under a plugin because it's never leaving. I'm not getting rid of the completion functionality. I may get rid of the dashboard, right? Dashboard doesn't need to be a thing. So you could get rid of it and toss it. It doesn't matter, right? Colorizer doesn't need to be a thing. This should really go in favor of me just showing you, just pull it in here, right? And here's a whole config for this right here. Just pull it in there, And then just add all the ones that you want. Boom, 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 just in the additional plugins, and it's done, right? The other thing is, for a lot of these, right? They're not really super built in. They don't have to be built in. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm going through and deciding which ones should be built in after working with them a lot. And then I want to give people a really solid user experience out of the box right now. But as time progresses and I refactor a lot of this stuff and I change things around, the reason that I'm doing this refactor, right, is because you'll notice that now all of the config is just in a require for Zen config, right? So now for Zen, what you can do is I can give you this config in the wiki, and I can give you this, and then just say, just pull it in. You know what I mean? I can give you where it is in the plugins list, essentially. And then you can define this right here. You could literally just pop this into LV config, and you could have it. You don't need it to be included inside of LunarVim, right? So yeah, you're totally right. This stuff is going to be leaving in the future, but first I gotta get this thing together that shows people what you can do with it, right? And it's always an iterative process to do things like that. Whenever you're working with software, it's always just an agile thing. It can't just be perfect out of the box, right? Because I didn't even know I was going to be refactoring stuff like this until it became obvious that I had to refactor stuff like this. Software is not one of those things where you can come up to a project, usually almost never actually, and you come up to the project and you're just like, this is exactly how it's going to be. I've architected it in my mind perfectly, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Because especially, like, it just doesn't, that's not usually how I've ever seen anything actually work. You know, but I think you're right though. I am going to get rid of a lot of that stuff. I'm not saying I'm going to keep it. What's up? Brute. It's really bad German, sure. What's up, Fan? It looks like 100 people work on this behemoth. It won't be a behemoth, you'll see. It's not even really that big. It's smaller than really a lot of other configs that I've seen, like a ton of other ones, and it's going to be getting rid of a lot more stuff. You're going to be surprised like how light the footprint's going to be for this thing, man. Like, first of all, it's already faster than way smaller configs. It's already way faster than all of them, right? Because of all the lazy loading and stuff. Then when I take the stuff and I abstract all that stuff just to the like out a little bit, you know, and then I just focus on the core stuff like compy, probably bar, like some kind of tab bar thing at the top. I mean, I'll probably keep it to compy, the bar at the top. Auto pairs is really important, but maybe not even the bar at the top, you know? Let's see what else. I think the debug adapter and all that stuff. I want the debugger in there. That's gonna be by default. That's not leaving. Because I expect people to use LunarVim to write code. I don't really expect, like, you can use it for whatever the hell you want, but it has a focus on being for developers. So I want to give that kind of like a rich experience for things that are important to developers. Galaxy Line doesn't even really need to stay. It depends. Like when I do start slimming things down a lot, Galaxy Line and bar will still be here, but you'll notice that like Colorizer will be gone. Actually, I might get rid of Colorizer during the stream because it might be time for me to get rid of Colorizer and maybe a few other things. Get signs will stay. LSP install will stay. Some formatter plugin will stay. The tree will likely stay. Symbol outline probably will go. Telescope will stay. Themes is not a thing. Tree sitter will stay because there's a lot to do with tree sitter. And VimTech really should be, I don't think it should be right here. I think it should be somewhere else. And which key will also likely stay. Zen will leave. So there's like 4 plugins I'll probably get rid of by the end of the stream. Let's see. Spelling's terrible, yeah. What's up, James? One of the collaborators. Android developer support? I doubt it. Shift K and IntelliSense stop working for anyone else? Let me take a look. No, seems to work. I mean, that's not super IntelliSense because it's not going to give us... There's probably something that I can get IntelliSense on. Let's try in settings. I think I have these. I thought something would come up for that. Yeah, no, I mean, you got IntelliSense. Right? So we're going to, you know what, we're going to debloat a little bit today just for CropToken. Does your config work with PyWall? I mean, with PyWall plugin? Maybe not because of the tree sitter stuff. I don't know. Probably not. I would say that it probably doesn't. Using LunarVim to write a novel? That's awesome. Send me the novel when you have a rough draft. You thought it was supposed to be a Photoshop clone? Dude, that's a good point. Yeah, let's pivot the project. It's considerably smaller, easy to read, easy to use. I use this config to create mine without problems. That's another thing this config is good for, is to just be a base for somebody to completely fork and use on their own, right? Chris, can you show us how we can add plugins? Yeah, I'll show you in a second. I actually just showed you, and you might have missed it because it was so easy. Use it for Android dev. I didn't know it'd be good for Android dev. That's cool. And yeah, I actually use it for my blog too with Markdown. Formatter.nvim, yeah. I don't have formatter.nvim in the project yet. Are you using the other stuff? How are you using formatter.nvim? But yeah, EFM is, unless you're using your own thing, and then in which case that's another reason that I should be moving over to formatter.nvim. which I may be doing also in this stream, depending on. I mean, it's Friday, so I don't have shit to do right now, so I don't mind doing it. Hey Chris, any idea why trying to install LunarVim results in OK to remove? If it does that, that's ultimately not good, but I don't know why it's doing that. I'll have to take a look at that. I forked your work since before it was called LunarVim. Gonna do a fresh new user install tonight. Look forward to how you handle bring your own config for user preferences. I'll show you that during this stream. Yeah, optional patches, that's gonna be the point, but it's gonna be easier than optional patches. Here's how easy it is. You guys missed it. You missed it a second ago, like how easy this is to do. So, all right. You're in the LV config, right? Let's just go close this one. All right, you're in LV config. This is your config. It's not managed by LunarVim. You just put it in the directory. It's not, there's a git ignore. This thing is completely yours, right? See these additional plugins? These are just extra plugins, right? So then let's, what's a plugin that we can test out? I don't even know. What's a, like, I have a ton of, actually, you know what? I have a whole freaking list called old plugins that used to be in the project. So, all right. So let's take a look at, let's do Hop. So here's Hop, right? Here's a whole ass config for a Hop, right? So we're gonna just take this, go like that. Then we're gonna pull it over here, paste it in. Okay, save it. We installed Hop. All right, now I don't think it'll work right out of the gate. No, it doesn't work right out of the gate yet. Although I feel like it probably should. It kind of makes me salty that it doesn't. But whatever. So it doesn't work right out of the gate. You come back in. Let's see, unexpected symbol near EOF. I must have put a thing by accident somewhere. 1 second. Up one. I think we are missing a curly brace. Okay. So now, all right. So, I mean, now I'm a little salty that it did that because it's not going to show you how cool this is. But if we go, because how fast it would have been had I not made that mistake. But now, like, S works. So we can do PL, and then G, and then we can do S, and then we can do ZE, and then D, and it'll take us there. So that's how easy it is. We could do another one, right? Better to do comments by Folk has so many freaking plugins, man. It's crazy. So you just literally just keep adding to this list, right? So what the hell is happening here? 1 second. I think I got lost in the sauce there. Oh, I think I pressed. All right, hold up. There we go. So now if we open this back up, we jump down here. All right, come over here. Whoops, like this. And where is the to-do comments? So we'll go like that. We'll grab these to-do comments. We'll jump over here, paste it in. All right, everything should be good now. To-do comments are installed. Open this back up. Now it'll work. And then I think you do something like to-do, and then you put that there, and then it's colored, and then fix me. I think apparently the LSP knows about it, and it's colored. I guess that's I think that's what does it because my regular to-dos are red. So I think that's what's doing that, in my opinion. Oh wait, no, there you go. It was just because it's not in there. I think something's supposed to happen with this. I'm not really 100% sure what's supposed to happen with this because I thought this stuff already did that. But we could pull in another one, right? Even if that one is ambiguous. I really like dial. Matchup's good, but it's kind of hard to show you exactly what that does. Num is good. How big is num here? This is one with a whole config. So we'll grab this one. And then we'll pop this in here like that. All right, we got another one. It installs it. We'll save, come back in. And now num, what it does, if I start pressing numbers like, let's do like 57. See how it just takes me right to line 57? That's what num does, right? And so like that's how easy it is to install a plugin with LunarVim. You just pop it in there. You just put it in this list, right? It's very, very, very easy. Other things are which keys. So like you could just open this up here, save that. I don't think it'll automatically put it there. Again, this is one I'm going to refactor so that that does automatically happen. But now you do this, we press A, we have our description in there. It's just it's just an echo command. It's just to show you like, okay, this is what you can do. But you could do whatever you want in here, right? You could set up whatever leader commands you want in here. You could even override the ones that are here. You could set them to nothing, or you could like change whatever you want. And then you have auto commands. So if I buff win enter after this, it should say hi again to me. Or at least it should say hi again to me. It might have, and then maybe I missed it. All right, well that one didn't work for me this time around, but it probably, I don't know why, but that used to work and it will work again in the future. I wonder why that didn't work. That one's weird. So, but yeah, at least the plugins, you can see the plugin stuff works like pretty much flawlessly. I'm just, did all kinds of weird stuff. Why did I replace hop.nvim? I didn't replace it with anything. I'm just getting rid of it, so you can just pop it in there, and it's very easy. You know what I mean? It just doesn't belong in the, like this guy's saying, Coptokin or whatever his name is. It doesn't belong in the base config, right? Croptokin. Can you too long didn't read? How do you do the hot reloading for someone too lazy to read through the code? Meaning where you just edit the main file and things change immediately. I'll show you that in a minute, but it's kind of a little crazy. Which window manager? DWM. Chris, have you checked out indent in Python and JavaScript files? I just update your LunarVim, but the auto indent still will not work. That's a tree sitter thing. So I would reach out to tree sitter about that because I'm pretty sure that's a tree sitter thing. What's my terminal? It's my own fork of ST. Does the Packer stuff need to be in .local? Can't this stuff be in .config nvim? It will be soon. I'm going to move it in there. That's my first step to like bundling all the stuff in one place so that it doesn't mess up your local stuff for nvim. So then it's one more step to get LunarVim decoupled from like your own personal nvim. I'm basically following your streams, replacing my config with new things you do. Switched to Neo format when you did and tried formatter.nvim. Well, then you tried formatter.nvim before me. You got your fiance off of VS Code and she's using LunarVim. That's really cool. Your fiance is cool. My girlfriend never wants to do stuff like that. Why you don't put whichkey.lua file like lv.config.lua? Yeah, I'm going to do that. You got rid of EFM? Not really. I can't really get rid of EFM. Like, it's a language server that you can install and you could totally just configure it on your own, right? So I can't really get rid of it. But I don't use it. I still use it for Python linting with like Flake 8 and stuff. And ESLint. How do you have mvim tree persist on all tabs? It just does that by default. Small nitpick about the stream. Can DWM hide the inactive cursor? I use a setting for that and awesome WM is distracting. Yeah, wait, did you see it just happen? All right, it hides, it's gone. Yep, you can do that. What do I use for that? I use mock installed programs. It's like hide. No. X. I know it's an X thing, I think. These are all the freaking... I installed X utils, so I got everything. Nah, but it might not be an X... I don't think it's an X utils, but... There is a thing, for sure. It's like, just like hide something somewhere. Does this work on this? Oh, this does, okay. But I don't know. I forget what it's called. I have no idea. I really wouldn't even be able to tell you. So let's see. Now that we got all this stuff in here. Oh, there's the buff when enter thing. There's the high again. Oh, see, that works. I wasn't crazy. By the way, we installed Tokyo Night earlier. And so now we got, also this, we're going to work on this too, where when you change the theme that the status line follows. Everything else follows with the status line, and that's because the status line is a pain in the ass. Oh, now see the to-do and fix me stuff? It works with his thing. I guess it just doesn't work with mine. But his, it works good. This is Folk's thing. So, yeah, you can see how that could be useful. Let's do color scheme. It's going to do that high again nonsense. I got to get rid of that. And then we'll go back to space gray. Okay, now this stuff's highlighted. But this one isn't. What a pain. What a plugin. What a plugin. Anyway, so let's see what else. All right, we got rid of that stuff. Let's open this back up so we don't get any of that annoying high again stuff. And those are plugins, so I got this whole list of plugins. It's going to be in the wiki in the future. You know, look out for that. So now, what we're going to do now is we need a config for dashboard. And also, you know, before I get this started, we're going to get rid of a few things. We're going to get rid of Colorizer. We're going to get rid of a couple things. So let's see what's in here. We're going to take this here because we're going to slim down the config as much as we can, because I'm tired of getting that, I don't want that criticism to be valid, you know what I mean? So let's go over here and let's do colorizer. Oops. And then we got colorizer there, so we'll just put that there, save that. Get rid of another line here. Okay. And then we can delete that and it's gone. So let's see what's next. Auto pairs are keeping, barbar we're keeping, compy, dap, dashboard we're keeping for now. You know though, dashboard I could just pull it in. I might do that later. I might. We'll see. No, because then I'd have to config it. No, dashboards are gonna stay for now. Float term is probably also going to stay for now. Galaxy line is going to stay for now. Get signs, LSP install. Neo formats eventually going to replace by the other thing. That's going to stay. The symbol outline, as much as I like the symbol outline, it's not totally necessary. And it's very easy to pull in on your own. Like I just showed you how to do it. It's very, very simple. Even trouble with folk stuff is easy to pull in on your own. Like there's no reason for it to really be in the base config. I mean, I'm gonna pull in that. I'm leaving the tree sitter stuff in there right now because I'm playing around with it and I'm trying to figure out exactly how best to deal with it. So I'm playing around with the tree sitter stuff, so that's gonna stay for now. The symbol outline stuff, that's basically all there is for those two. There is probably trouble in my config somewhere, so if I search text for trouble, and we got this stuff, this is diagnostic stuff. I'll probably just keep that with, because I had to comment it out anyway. I'll keep that with that. All right, and then we'll go back over here. Diff view I'd like to keep. I don't want to lose like a good diff view type thing for Git. But again, I mean, it's really easy to pull it in, so who knows? Maybe I will just toss it. Lush I'm still using for color scheme, so I'm not getting rid of it yet, but I will be. This stuff is language specific, so I don't know what is in this Vim text stuff that would be like. We're gonna change this, by the way. We're gonna put that in a thing under LSP for like LaTeX, and we're gonna do some stuff around that. Let's see, and then what else do we got? Again, SaneGX is so freaking easy to just pull in. So why would you? It's useful, but why would you have it in the base config when I give you this super easy way to pull in plugins in your own thing, right? This is tree sitter right here. Indent blank line is going to stay because I'm still playing around with it. Tree sitter playground is going to stay because I'm playing around with it. Zen mode for now is going to just stay built in. Bar, galaxy line. You will notice me getting rid of tons of these things. We don't even really need the color schemes. And honestly, they shouldn't really be built in. NVim comments staying. Auto pairs staying. Which key is staying. Get signs is staying. Tree is staying. Neo format is staying. Tree sitter, vsnip, friendly snippets. They're staying for sure. They're too coupled with this, and they're too useful. This stuff is all LSP and just basic stuff that's required for things to work. Someone was saying something about this project thing for telescope should be buff win enter. So I'm going to do that now too. All right. Unclutter, I think that is the name of it. I think that is the name of the thing I'm using. Hold up. It's not. I'm using something different. I don't know what the hell it is. I don't know what it is that I'm using. But it works. And it gets rid of it. Is that it? Now I gotta check again because I just saw Xbanish. Xbanish. Yes, that's what I use. I use Xbanish. There you go. Figured it out. Do you recommend Arch for production? What do you mean by production? I don't recommend it for servers. People who say Arch is stable are lying and they've drank the Kool-Aid a little too much. I love Arch and all, but I would never put it on a server. Why would you not use Debian for your server? That would blow me away using Arch for a server. I'd be like, I get the memes and all, like I get it, but like no, don't do that. It is Xbanish. You can still see the cursor on the stream? Right now you can see the no, you can't. I'm looking at the stream from... Wait, hold up. 1 second. I'm watching the stream on another thing. Wow, you guys can see the cursor. That's wild. I didn't even realize that. Oh, there's an Amber Alert in the area. Someone got abducted. Anyway, you guys can see it still. That's crazy. I can't see it. Yeah, I can't see it. Hi, Chris. How have you implemented the lazy loading? Go check out plugins.lua, and you'll see that basically there's events and commands. And when you put those, they automatically lazy load. I just installed Tokyo Night on top of LunarVim last night. Yeah, let me fix the Galaxy line thing tonight, too, if I can. OBS or whatever probably capture it. It does capture it. It does. That's crazy. I did not realize that. I thought that would be hidden. You know, I noticed that in one of my videos. I was like, how did I had like my cursor like sitting like I was like doing a command and it was like sitting right here on top of it like that. And I was like, how did I let myself like type with that there? And because it was like blocking the whole thing. Like I must be like having a stroke while I'm doing that because like I didn't notice it. And now I know why. Yeah, you don't want to see my cursor. Well, you're beat then, because I don't feel like dealing with that. Hey, regarding DWM, what's the patch for rounded quarters on Windows? I don't know. This is the coolest patch, though. Nothing compares with this patch. And then, see, it shows my other monitor, too, an OBS. And then the stream over here. And then, you know, all this stuff. And then if you hover your mouse over whatever, it just opens that up. And takes you exactly, warps you to the workspace as well. So I really like that. Why not use another file for LunarVim and leave plugins.lua for regular users config just to make it less confusing for the users? It's actually easier if I do it this way, believe it or not. I think it's actually more intuitive if they just have a list where they just literally pass plugin config. It's actually easier. They're not missing out on anything. You're just missing out on configuring Packer, which sucks ass. Why would you want to do that? You're just passing it in. Like for work machine, I switched to Debian recently because of the updates and NVIDIA breaks with Zorg. Interesting. Yeah, DWM's pretty cool. All right. Let's see, hot reloading. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. All right. So let's get back into, I think we got rid of a good amount of plugins just now. We're going to get rid of more. All the people, all the bloat. I'm working on something. Like I'm doing things, right? Give me a minute to do things, and then I will remove the bloat. I've been like consistently moving, or consistently getting rid of bloat as I go along. So, go look at SpaceVim. You want to see bloat, go look at SpaceVim. I do not want to be that. All right, so now we can get rid of this because we don't have it anymore. And did I get rid of anything else that's in this list over here? No. This is going to move somewhere else. And then I don't consider all of this LSP config bloat because I want people to be able to use this thing. And if you're just showing up with your own LSP config, all this other kind of stuff, why would you? Why would you? You know? That would just be painful. If you're trying to set all this stuff up, I don't know. It just feels like it's not really worth it. If someone's inventing the wheel, right? You don't want to reinvent the wheel. Honestly, if someone just wants to take these configs for setting up LSP just for their one language, that's also what LunarVim's here for, right? It's also for you to come through and go, oh shit, how's he doing Java LSP? Java LSP is no fun to set up. No fun to set up. It's 0 amounts of fun to set up. It just sucks ass the whole way through. So, you would rather just have someone do that. If someone had it already done for me, that's why I use some plugins for it too. What's his name? I forget he's got a hard name to say. But he set up the NVim JDTLS thing, and I like to use that. It's not like I'm gonna set up NVim tools or whatever. That would suck ass. So let's see. Let's get rid of that. Do this. What am I doing? We're gonna do dashboard now. We're gonna config dashboard. So config.lua. And before I do this, okay. Let's see. Remove that. Remove this. Remove this. And not that one yet. So remove extra plugins. Debloating. Deboloading. There you go. All right. One other thing is that, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, is that they will be also here in this list. Zen we kept. We got rid of that. Got rid of that. Got rid of that and that. All right. More de-bloat. There we go. The preview? This thing? Not KDE Plasma. This is DWM. And this only works in DWM as far as I know. I think that can be a problem. If you don't know how stuff works, you can't fix it if it breaks. I actually recommend people, before they even try out LunarVim, go play around with Packer. Go play around with things, right? Likely, if you play around with Packer and figure out how the LSP works a little bit and get it all kind of set up however you want to do it, very likely your first pass you did it wrong. Very likely your second and third pass you're better, but you're probably still ultimately wrong and full of bugs. So it just is probably easier to just use something like, I think honestly LunarVim is not for someone who just showed up to Vim yesterday. You know what I mean? It's for someone who's configured this stuff and they're like, wow, do I really want to keep up with that, or would I rather a community of 100 people keep up with that for me? You know? Yeah. Well, we're gonna sort through that too. I think there's a little bit of pain there. Vimtech to FT plugin. Yeah, that is where that belongs. You are right about that. I'm not doing that right now, but we are refactoring right now. Which is always something to do. You gotta continuously refactor. If you're not refactoring and you have shitty patterns, then the patterns just get worse and worse and worse. And I've seen it through my long 2.5 career in software engineering. I've seen it go pretty bad multiple times. So let's see. Have I been a software engineer for 3 years? I think I've been a software engineer for 3 years. Let's see. So let's do config v. That looks good. All right. What are we going to call this? We're going to call this o.plugin.dashboard. Yes. And we're going to do that, and we're going to do this, and there we go. So then what we're going to do is we're going to come over here, and we got this custom header and the footer. Like that? Yeah. And we'll, damn it, paste that in here. Like that. Looks good. Looks terrible. Looks good. And we'll get rid of this. All right. Now the other thing is we're also going to need to require it now. So we got dashboard. And there's other dash stuff in here. Yeah, we're going to get rid of that. Wait, there's active, so what just happened? Oh. I get the control thing mixed up and then like the thing to move between stuff with DWM. We want active equals facile, false, with a comma, with the right. There we go. Come over here, get rid of that, do that. We don't need Zen anymore either. All right. So we're going to do that with basically everything. You're going to be able to get, that one dude's going to be able to use the ladybug because of how I'm going to do this. So you'll be able to use that for debugging. Let's see what else. What is this? No. The LSP config you're providing out of the box is important. That's the most important part. That's why I want to debloat everything else and then just provide that out of the box. Vim.tech.plugin. Yes, I think we talked about that. Yeah, no, this is going to be in the wiki. It's going to be like copy and paste stuff into LunarVim to have whatever plugin you want. That's why I've been saving them there. Tell us, yeah, if someone doesn't just copy others' config and they're new, it will be a lot of trouble. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to, I did copy a good amount of people's configs, so it's possible. What is LunarVim startup time? This looks great. Let's find somewhere to go test it out. Startup time out. I must have changed something. Well, right now it's terrible because I changed something. And obviously something didn't like it, what I changed. So we save this. Let's figure out what we need to fix, and then I'll show you the startup time. Startup time is fast. We know that much. All right, so what's the issue? Init.lua 3, error while calling Lua chunk LV config 26. Okay. So let's jump over here. We want to do 26. That's because colorizer's not a thing anymore. And that's likely the problem that was there. All right. And now, what was that? Please check your config for correctness. Let's do... It could be because of... We have o.plugin.dashboard is true here. I wonder if that's the thing that's being a pain. Okay, yeah, it's something to do with the dashboard, so that makes sense. All right, let's do startup time, out, open up out. On this machine, is just one pass, 59 milliseconds. We could get it faster. We'd like to see it in the 40s. If you saw it on the 40s on this machine, you would be able to confidently say it's pretty damn fast. Here's another one where it did 51 seconds. So pretty close. It's anywhere in the 50-something milliseconds range on this computer. I wish Telescope was as fast as something like FZF. It's so unusable for a large amount of files. I think that'll get better in the future. What software do you use for DS? What data science? I don't know, all kinds of different data science stuff. I don't know. It's just, I haven't done data science in a little while since I worked at Lockheed. Isn't dashboard optional? That way you're configuring it regardless. The performance hit is probably negligible, but it still feels like kind of a step back, so why split the files? Yeah, Snap is good. I just don't like that it pulls down FZY, because it just takes a while to update and install, and LunarVim has to be fast in that respect. Why does your config break when there's syntax errors and mine doesn't? Mine has a lot to do with protected calls saving my ass all over the place, so if you look at look how good this looks. If you look at clap, yeah, okay. Well, let's reconfigure. Let's do dashboard first, and then I'll show you what I'm doing there. Real question is, why is dashboard not working? Custom header. Yeah, okay. If we go to init.lua, we have o.custom header here. o.dashboard, plugin.custom header. And then also we're going to take all this stuff and we're going to take it and we're going to go over here. And then we're going to put it in the middle of this because that makes sense to me. And something bad happened. What bad happened? The fact that this is not named a thing, and we're going to call this custom section. I'm going to save. We're still missing something. I think we got to close it off like that. And then we got to put a comma. And we save, and now everything's pretty. All right, so it's like LunarVim, and then the custom sections, and then the footer. I feel like that just makes sense in my mind. And the first thing is it active? So we did the plugin dashboard custom header, and then now we're going to do, and we can change this well, I'm going to call it something else. Because it's got to be intuitive. I feel like that's not intuitive. We're going to call it... I have no idea. Dashboard finder, searcher. I guess that's what they call it as a default executive. That's a silly name. Default... I don't know. Search. Dashboard search. Yeah, whatever. I don't care. It's going to be search unless someone comes up with a better idea. Damn it. Come over here, and then we're going to do... Why am I doing it like that? And then we're going to do o.plugin. dashboard dot search. Right, and then we have this custom section, which will be o dot plugin dot dashboard dot custom section. And then this thing is the thing we forgot to take with us earlier, and that should be it. It's complaining, or it's not doing exactly what I want it to do. And why is that? So plugin custom dashboard custom header is equal to that. What is all this? Oh, switch key. Let's think hard about why this is not working, because it really should. Is any of the other config getting there? It seems like none of the oh, it's not active. Duh. Probably someone knew that. Someone in chat probably knew that. Whoops. Where do we want to set that it's active? I think we'll set... Oh, yeah, obviously you want to set it in LV config. So we'll do... Oh, we'll put it at the top. Oh. Actually, we already have something. o.plugin.dashboard. Is that enough? There we go. This works. That file type unknown thing also drives me nuts, but there's not really much I can do about that right now. I'm going to look into it later. I know it's a plugin that's causing it, or an auto command somewhere. And then we're going to get rid of that, and then that's that. Why is dashboard unmodifiable? It should be modifiable now that I've done that. Did you ever figure out how to disable them? Apparently you don't disable them, but they have a check at the top and they don't run through if that check stuff is there. I don't know if you're supposed to set it to 0 or 1. Could you send something into the Discord and then I'll grab it and I'll put it in the config? That would be a big help. Thoughts of creating a Docker image for LunarVim? Believe it or not, there was a Docker image. This thing's going through a lot of iterations for names and stuff like that. There used to be one called NVim Mach 2. Then there was MV Code. Then there was LunarVim. NVim Mach 2 had a Docker image associated with it. Search handler. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I like search handler actually. I think I like search handler better. This looks really good. I think I like search handler. Handler. I like the... What are you talking... in terms of what? Oh, just a magnifying glass for the thing? Yeah, that would be interesting. What built-in plugins are you talking about? There's ones that start like this. $58 milliseconds. Not bad, not bad. See these guys here? Match it, match paren, netrw, like all this other stuff. You want the SHADA, you want a few of them. By the way, I have FZF installed, so FZF is always here with us. We just don't talk about it, but it's always here. And then, and now I don't know how to get out of it. There we go. But that's always there. And like gzip, whatever else, right? That extra stuff. I don't know if someone put the thing in here. That's matchup. It's not in there anymore. Yeah, I use snippets for tabbing. Oh, you're saying like to move through the snippets. I think I use that too, but I don't know. I got to figure out how to better move through snippets, in my opinion. And Waywood. Chris, here's the link I was talking to disable the built-in plugin. Okay. Is this my boy Ib Hagwan, the guy who made PCOM, the better PCOM fork? Okay, disabled built-ins, and then what does he do? Sets them to 1? Okay, let's do that. He might have a cool config to like kind of look through and see what we can glean from it. Let's take this over to damn it. Let's take this over to settings. We'll pop that in here like that. See, we don't really need these. Now it says loaded is equal to 1. Does it? I'll trust him. But I doubt we're going to get much start time improvement from this, but kind of. A little bit. Now you can see that it still sources them or whatever, but it's apparently it sources them, but then it doesn't actually run it. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't go through with it. It like sources the file, but then quits out immediately. That's from my understanding what happens. Wait a second. I wonder why after doing that. Yeah, I'll get rid of that. Something about that. Something. My bar doesn't like something that just happened. Is it this? What happened that bar is like complaining now? I don't think it was that. When was the last time? Barbar's still here. Yeah, I don't think it was this. I'm going to leave that here on or just comment it out for a second, but I don't know why that's not there. Scroll off? Sure. It's probably a good idea, honestly. There you go. This one is my fave. Something is off with the auto command. Probably not getting called. Yeah, maybe. Chris was trying to improve startup time. Yeah, that was from the last one. Is MV... Thank you for that, by the way. Is MV Chad a fork of MV Code? No, I don't think so. I think NVIM Chad is just like... It's like another kind of... I don't know, like another thing. Do I use FSV? I don't know. I'm not sure what that is. He said he's joking. Maybe I just don't know what that is. Yeah, the iGod guy, yeah. Bro, why does my man say PCOM? It's definitely PyCom. I call it PCOM. I don't know. Is it PyCom? Why is it PyCom? Can you try packer load bar? Yeah. Is packer load a thing? I'm also going to do an update really fast here and just see what happens. Still beat. Packer load. Okay. That's odd. It must be because of something. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't really know what's causing that. Let's go to. I didn't know Packer load was a thing, by the way. Thank you for teaching me that. Let's go to. Where is this? This is my repos. Where are we? Let's go over to plugins. It's on buff when enter. Let's try Vim enter. I don't know why I did all that. Then we'll need to. I don't know if it compiled or not. Okay, Vim enter seems to be working. Alright, we're going to stick with Vim enter for now. PyCom. It's actually, yeah, PyCom. I'll try to say PyCom. It just looks like PCom to me. I don't know why. Third file system for Jurassic Park and... Okay. I don't know that meme, I guess. Yeah, something was up with the lazy loading for sure. That's weird that something changed the lazy loading for that. I wonder if it had any other effects. I did want to look at this scroll off thing. I've never used scroll off before, so let me take a gander at what that does. LV config. All right, so if I start going down, oh yeah, I do like that better. It obviously lets me get there, but like as I'm going down, it doesn't actually let me touch the bottom. Yeah, I like that better because then you get more content. I hate like being at the bottom of a file and then I don't know. I think I do like that. It might be a little bit of time before I'm fully used to it, but I think I do like that. All right. Okay. Back to. Excuse me. Must have been an old bad instance of that. All right, let's put this back in. Let's just close all this and save. Restart. Just let's see how everything's working. Let's do a okay. Here's some more interestingness. Those things are not being set up. Actually, none of the which key stuff is being set up. Also, where is float terms active? So why is float term not working? I don't know what's happened to a lot of my things. That's got to be auto command problems. Why do we not have relative line numbers anymore? Just because it's not something hard for you to put in your config, and I think it confuses some people who are still somewhat on the newer side. You should try Neo Scroll. Maybe I'll try that. Alright, there's something wrong with the installer with that. I'm not really sure what it's asking to remove. It's got to be a plugin. It's got to be a plugin. The installer is, okay, the reason the installer is broken is because you have to blow away your plugins. And they're in .local share nvim site pack packer. That's why. That's why that's happening. That's something I'm going to have to look into. I know how to solve this. That's an easily solvable thing. I'm just going to point to a totally different directory. And couple it with this config. That way we won't run into that issue. This is stupid. Why is that happening? Let's take a look at a few things. We changed dashboard, default config, and then okay, yeah, but I don't think that had anything to do with it. Well, we'll test this out again really fast. Wait, what just happened? Comment toggle. It is not a command. All right. All of my lazy loading stuff is busted. Oh, it keeps putting it inside there. That's not what we want. All right, can we just... All right, let's do Q. All right, 1 second. Let's do Q, Q, this, escape. Back 1 should be enough. And then down 1, enter, I think. I don't know. Let's see what happens. That's probably not going to be perfect either. We'll have to try this again. There we go. I could have put a number in for sure, but I didn't want to. That doesn't fix it either. What would have changed things? Yeah, it's got to be the same reason bar didn't work. I don't really know why that is, but maybe it is safer just to put things on Vim enter anyway. I mean, do these auto commands fire? Yep. Those ones are fine. Has something to do with how we're entering. Okay, mvim tree, I guess, is always there. Buff win enter. It might be everything on buff win enter. Vim enter. We also probably need a packer. Wait, what? Hold on. Alright, what's happening here? See, this is where this stuff can get dangerous. So, what we did for bar, now that messes up bar if you do which key on this. What if we just try to put it on buff read again or something like that? Nothing. That is odd. Any bright ideas? Maybe one of those built-ins we disabled was required by Telescope? No. I don't think so. Am I using nightly? No, I'm just using stable. Are there 2 instances of NeoVim running? Maybe that's it? Why would that be it? Wait, what? Okay. Sure. I guess because I was like editing the config with multiple instances open. What was this before? Buff win enter. This is still messed up though. That's fine. Maybe we'll do another packer compile. Yeah, like comment toggle is still not a thing. And that's on buff when enter as well. One second. Seems like the witch key config is not getting loaded. It does seem that way. But we got comment toggle in there, and buffer close, and dashboard. And those are being named in here. Maybe it's trying to do something with something we got rid of. We're gonna have to abstract all of this soon too, but like lunar config, right? Like that's not being set, but comment toggle is. That's because it's called comment toggle, and that's called dashboard, and that's called buffer close. Okay, that's not the names of things. That's why. All right, that's why that stuff's actually making it there and making sense. So you're right. Which key's not getting called? So maybe it's just a which key thing right now. Is there something in here that we played around with? We do have this. And we have our additional plugins here. Why don't we get rid of our additional plugins? We'll get rid of this. No. Any other ideas? Let's see. So where I'm calling that is, so okay, so it happens right here, right? Like I'm requiring which key right here, and then where I'm calling register is in here at the bottom. That's always worked before. So it's just being like called from plugins. And then let's see what's in our changes here. All right, here we go. cd.config nvim. Let's get checkout Well, let's push our changes here. First, I'm going to just take a look and see if anything weird. All right, we moved dashboard. That shouldn't have really had anything to do with it, in my opinion. The default config, some stuff was removed. This... maybe bar screwing with it. We'll put it back at buff when enter. And then there's this. So those are the only two things that really could be in my opinion. So let's go back to those two and see what we got. So bar. We'll just do buff when enter. And then what was the other one? Was oh yeah, we have some extra settings over there, but I think I commented those out anyway. So then we'll come back in. Yeah, nothing there again. Let me explicitly compile. Yeah, nothing. Yeah, folk to the rescue. He's the one who made WitchKey, if anyone's wondering. What's the syntax for run? But I don't think he's gonna be able to like weirdly debug my config, you know. What's the syntax for runtime? What if you do a print right before the register? Oh yeah, we'll try that. So wait a second. Where's bar? That used to work fine, man. Like I don't know what changed. This is becoming like inconsistent somewhat. Okay, it likes that. Where let's do the thing with WitchKey really fast just to see what happens. We'll do it right here. Yep. Here. Symbol outline. Hold up. Let's blow away that. All right. That's still no good. All right, there's still a symbol outline problem, so we're gonna. Damn it! I don't. I don't have telescope either. Let's see. What is this? I must have done something funky in here. What is that dash over there? There are mysterious things happening right now. Get out of here. Alright, we got the print here, there. What I'm going to try and do is search for... Is that going to work? Okay, good. Symbol. Outline true is there. That's that stuff. Okay, there's this. This is the problem. This is the problem. Because I got rid of that. Because I got rid of it. That's why it happened. These things happen when... Again, this is ultimately poor factoring. That is what led to that. So this is not something that is ideally even done like this. So yeah, I think that is the reason that we ran into this problem. Oh no, maybe it shows up again somewhere. Maybe there's other ones that I got rid of that show up again somewhere in WitchKey. because which key was a place where I was keeping a lot of different things. And again, this is ultimately going to have to change. So let's see what we got here. There's this thing. Yeah, like this is, that's what I was wondering with which key. I was like, some of it's getting done. All right, there's more which key attempt 191. 191. Yeah, there we go. We still have Zen. There you go. That's what it was. You're right. It does never get cold. Do you know Git Stash? Yes, I know Git Stash. I know it would have worked. I just knew something I did was the issue. But it wasn't in a thing that I changed, so it had to be something that was left over, right? So it wasn't like a problem with something like me deleting something or changing something unrelated. It was something that I got rid of that it was trying to access. So I knew it had to be somewhere in there, I guess. Yeah, I'm very glad I got that fixed too. We run into all kinds of fun bugs on these streams. They're always self-introduced. I know this is actual folk. Folke. How do you say? Do you say it folk or folke? I use too many of his plugins not to know who he is. What's the syntax for runtime loading the init.lua? Yeah. Folka. Okay. Gotcha. Try saying my last name. I'll wait. All right. If anyone's seen it, I guess go on GitHub and try and pronounce that. All right. Let's see. So this is good now. We're going to be decoupling this and changing things all around this as well. That's coming in the future, probably in the future of this stream, because I don't have anything else to do right now, not till late tonight. I don't think I have anything to do until like 10 p.m. So let's see. Telescope, themes, tree sitter. I don't think we're getting rid of anything else, but we are going to be moving stuff around. I was just got the dashboard stuff done. I'm like, all right, that's cool. And then just everything breaks. One thing I should do is go back to plugins and bar and undo. Well, let's redo whatever the hell this is. And then this was buff win enter. You know, see which key was thanks, man. At machine, yeah, that's how you pronounce it, yeah. Let's see, so which key was one that I did a while ago? It was made by someone else, but it was in Vim script, and it did not behave perfect all the time. Like, it regularly, like, I ran into issues. But the new which key it works great. I want to try lazy loading web dev icons, but I know that will break something. Like I want to do it on like Vim Editor or something. All right. So okay, what's this? This could have been. This is still easily due to the same problem. Let's get rid of that here. Okay. Now what we're going to do is Zen active, yeah. Now what we're going to do is just refactor a few other things. Let me move this thing, okay. And Yeah, this really needs to go in FT plugin. And default config. What's another one I have to move? What does float term look like? All right, we got the float term setup here. This is basically the whole setup. Lazy git setup. I feel like this should just inherit from that one. I think it would inherit from it, but this is a new setup. I just kind of want them all to be the same across, so I think I'm just going to do that with it. So we're going to just pass this some stuff, and it doesn't really need anything else here. So let's come over here then, and let's do call it config.lua, and now take this guy and delete this. Config, put it in there, and then we're going to do float term o.plugin.float term equals, and then we got dimensions in there, height, whatever else, right? And then so what we can do is we can come back into here and then do no, we want to do this. Call it as a function like this, and then do o.plugin.float term, and then that should pass all the right stuff. By the way, is this working? Yes, it is. So the other thing we're going to do is we're going to pass that same thing. Well, this is, all right, so we have dimensions here. So what we're actually going to do is just grab the dimensions off of that. o.plugin.float term.dimensions, like that. And then they'll all just be consistent, which I think is for the best. And I forget why. I think I went with 3 here, like that. Now, something probably will break around that. I didn't really set it up perfectly. Oops. That's pretty small. I think we're going to go back to 9 for that. Config 9. Still feels small. It's not bad though. I don't like it to be too big. Config. I'm wondering if it actually changed anything. Like if I make this into, say, 8, we should see a drastic difference. We don't. Okay, so let's go into find files, lv config. Where's the, oh, it probably, Telescope's not finding it because it's ignored. So let's do this. Float. Oh, there's also active that has to happen there. And then we also need to get rid of it all out of here. So float. Oh, we're also not requiring it. So that might have something to do with it as well. Float. Term. What are we calling this? Where the hell is it? I can't see it for some reason. Oh, there it is. LV float term. All right, we're calling that there, and then we'll come back over to float term. And we'll do config, and we'll do active equals false. Like that. Come back in. Yeah, that's better. Okay, that's exactly how I used to have it. Oops. No. Where am I right now? All right, quit that. All right, I would also like to get dashboards config out of here as well. Let's take a look at doing that. Dashboard. I don't think this should ever be on a command. And then what we'll do is come back over here. We'll comment this out for now. Sure. Okay, and we'll just do packer compile. Seems to work. Yeah, we can get rid of all those. All right. Probably wouldn't bother messing with dev icons. It's required by like 5 plugins. Yeah, that's why I don't really want to play with it too much. But I think I could do on Vim Enter. I think I could do it. Tab stop and shift width cannot be set to 4. They can be. It depends on what kind of file type you're in. We might have file type specific things. Check your file type and go to the FT plugins. Would it be possible to have all the key bindings even from plugins in the same file? I really wanted to add like a Control-C binding, but I couldn't find where the diagnostics were to unbind it. Maybe. I'm going to see how this exactly is going to work. Would be nice to be able to set it to 0.95 to make the most out of 13-inch screens. Yeah, it definitely wasn't going to stay 0.8. 0.9 is not bad. We're changing it on the settings.lua. Yeah, check the FT plugin file for whatever. What's your file type? And I might be able to help you better. Why did LV change from bar to buffer line and back again? Because the guy who is developing LunarVim is a crazy person. These guys. Let's fix that typo. All right, so we got float term in there. We're gonna go to default config again, float term, nothing else in here. Nothing else in here. I think we're good. Float term's good. It's completely decoupled, and we're not adding a bunch of extra junk and nonsense in here. Let's take a look at another one. Galaxy line's a good one because of colors. So let's at least break out the colors for Galaxy line so people can add their own colors. Config.lua. I'll just grab these colors here. Let's do o dot plugin dot galaxy line. colors. Like that. Active. Yeah, that's it. That was it. .lua is set to 2 spaces and Python to 4. Yeah, I'll probably remove that from Lua in the future. But I think it is set in there to that right now. All right. That's fine. We're gonna actually use these colors so that people can change them for their line whenever they want to do that. What's a better way of doing this other than trying to think. I don't think there is going to be a better way. O.plugin dot galaxy line dot colors dot blue. Oops. I'm not trying to think of a clever way to do this right now. Oops. Wait a second. It got rid of... damn it. Alright, hold on. We'll put that back there just in case. Colors dot colors, and then we'll do yep. We'll do CGN colors, and then give me all of it. Thank you, and that should be it. Thanks for telling me that now, but you're totally right. All right. They got some themes too built in, but you can't know that they have all particular types of colors that you might need for things because you might want different ones. I don't know. Dude, there's times, man, like, I wonder, like, why, I don't know. Let's see, O dot galaxy line dot, no, O dot plugin dot galaxy line dot colors, like that. I came up with that all on my own. Now, the other thing is, too, with these status line elements, they grab from highlights right now. I don't necessarily think that's a good idea now. And I kind of want to, I'm thinking about changing it back. So that's something I'm going to do probably off stream. I don't feel like that's a fun thing to, not that all of this is really super fun to watch anyway. What exactly does astronauta.nvim does enables fixes? I'll explain that. So basically, in FT plugin is where I keep all of the LSP. So let's just open, what's the one I've been working on lately? So Java. So like what I can do here is just immediately require JDTLS start or attach because it's an FT plugin, and so this only happens on Java file types. So every single time there's a Java file type and the LSP client isn't running already, then run this starter attach command for JDTLS, right? And then give me all these commands and give me all this other kind of stuff, right? That's what this does. Astronauta lets me do it with Lua. Otherwise, you need Vim script or .vim or whatever. So that's what Astronauta does. Lets me do FT plugins in Lua, essentially. And what I use it for is for LSP. This would be a good time to have Colorizer, actually. Maybe I'll install it just for that. Go debug some Markdown. Good luck with that. Where should you add language configurations for DApp? I don't have anywhere for that yet, but I have like a DApp install thing that'll just install it for you. So if it's inside the DApp install thing, I would recommend just doing it that way. All right, let's see what else. Galaxy line config, yeah, whatever. We're gonna go to init. Let's really clear this stuff up really fast. Now we want to keep that up. Clear this. Okay. We're lazy loading another plugin now, though, so that's good. So we have less startup plugins now. Playground, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so we got this in colors now, and then I'm not going to expose this right now. I don't really see the point. We could expose every single element. Where's table? Well, table is, I think that's just like a built-in. And then it's it's inserting it into GLS. Where GLS equals gl.section, and then you're just inserting like in the left of GLS, you're inserting this thing here. So, is there any like cool way to expose this kind of stuff? I don't think so. Not right now. I'll set up the colors later though, so people can change the colors. That's not really a priority right this second. Let's go to default config again. Galaxy line, like that. I don't think I'm exposing this stuff anywhere else. Oh, that's fine. Now if we go like this and we start up another one and we do like this, all right, it still works. No surprises. Get signs. Could expose get signs. Let's grab this guy like that. O dot plugin dot get signs equals this. And then inside of init in the setup call, we'll just do o dot signs dot, or no, o dot plugin dot get signs like that. And then what we'll do is just require it. And now, like if we open up another, Also, I feel like I should be loading less plugins now. No? Okay, whatever. Now if we do init.lua, whatever, and then come in here, and then, or here, o.plugin.get signs.add.text, right? And we can set that equal to like an H, and you won't see it here. I guess you won't see it there just yet. I feel like you should. I feel like that should have updated. Maybe it'll update for a buffer that hasn't already been open. So like if we go and we open like this one, and I go like that, no. There's the H. I guess you'd have to like reload it somehow. Which you probably could do. I don't know where it's being called. I feel like it would have been reloaded though if that was possible. So maybe it's just not possible to do. Because it is reloading it. But yeah, you could just expose the whole config that way, which is much better. Where do I add language configuration for? That installation does configure it. Yeah, the installation configures it. Wait, no, it doesn't. Not fully. It does a little bit. If you look, the best example I have is for Python. So if you go to, only example I have is for Python. If you go down to here, this is how you do that. And that's it. And then you can set configuration options in here. But I don't really have that set up right now because I just use the defaults. You currently have JK bound to escape in the config. What do you think about adding other common, more controversial bindings to the config? I was thinking like auto command insert enter norm ZZ that centers the cursor on input. Bindings that some people hate but some people love. Those could be comment out by default. It's a pretty opinionated config, but it's nothing that you can't unbind. Like you could just unbind that if you wanted to. Still feel like a lot of this is redundant. The init.lua is barely doing anything anymore, so my vote is to still have both the config and the setup in the same file, or let Packer handle the setup. Now, I think you're misunderstanding how lazy loading is working here, I think. So the init.lua is barely, we want the init.lua to do nothing. We want init.lua to have like nothing in it. That's how you know you're doing. It's like if you ever work on like microservices or like anything like that. Like init.lua, I kind of see it as like my controller in a way, and I want nothing in here except for just entry points to say, okay, just simple in my mind. Okay, everything from default config is loaded. Then my key maps are loaded. Then the LV config stuff is loaded. Then the settings are loaded. Then the plugins come. Then my color scheme is set. Then we have utils that can exist, right? Utils is still a little controversial. It's kind of a mess. And then tree sitter happens, right? So this is me knowing in giant chunks how my config works. It seems trivial, it seems small, but in big chunks, I know where things are happening, right? So I know when stuff is default happening, and then like when right after that, when the user could change something to the default config. And that happens after key maps so that you can turn off key maps if you don't like specific key maps, right? I think that this should have less in it, honestly. I think we should get rid of tree sitter. I always foresee a utils thing being here. Color scheme is probably going to be in its own file at some point in some way. I don't know why it has to be. Well, it does have to be set after plugins. Settings might be able to be set after plugins. I'm not sure, but ultimately, I'd like to get rid of tree sitter and the color scheme out of here, and then I think that would be a perfect init.lua in my mind. That would be exactly what I want. And then I like how the config is split up over there because it's nice and chunked out. So like this is all LSP. So it's just like that's what that does. And then if you come in here, it's like, okay, the config for dashboard and the init for dashboard are right here. So if I ever want to get rid of dashboard, I'd literally delete this folder and then go delete it in default config. And it's gone. Right? And then I got to delete it out of plugins too. And then it's gone, right? Like it's really simple for me to like just do that. It's all like tightly coupled together. So that's why I like that. I know that most LSP modules remove to FT plugin, but what about LSP init.lua? Where is it being required? So LSP init.lua is stuff that's setting up like document highlighting and a few other things. This file is going to be more populated in the future because we're going to be doing stuff in here for, I don't know if I'm going to do the formatting stuff in here. I'm not sure yet. But all of the language specific, actually, at least all of the language specific stuff that's in default config right now is going to happen in here. So like Java will be back. All these things will be back in here. And then what they're really going to be is language server protocol options. And so that's all going to be set in here so that when you go open a file, okay, the first thing that happens is default config fires. That gives you the defaults for Java, say. Then Lua file fires. They're not Lua file. LV config fires, and then that will set up all of the setup for your personalized setup for a particular LSP, and then all of that just gets passed into the LSP. Right, and so that the config for that, instead of all the language-specific config living in default config, all the language-specific stuff is going to live in a file named after that thing. So, like, instead of having this big, like, giant mess here, we're just going to have a file called PHP options, right? And then it's just going to be full of options, or PHP config, and it's just going to be full of options. If that makes sense. And then we could even abstract it. We could do it the same exact way we're doing with these plugins, actually. Like, for instance, with the FT plugin, you could go in and instead of doing Java, all this shit here, you could abstract this to the init.lua that would be under Java, and then you could have a config under Java as well. And then that config will be the same exact thing. It'll get passed right in here, just like how we're doing with the plugins right now. That might be the way to do it. That might be the best way to do it, in my opinion. I know that most LSP modules are moved to... Yeah, I think I talked about that. So setup equals function require galaxy line dot setup o dot plugin gls end. And then just have GLS be its own thing. You could override GLS pretty easily like that. I see what you're saying. I think that's a good idea. I would replace escape to exit insert mode in the terminal. For escape, you could use escape in any terminal. Okay, I see what you're saying. It would be nice to easily test different key bindings and settings directly from the config and not have to look at different forums, but it might be confusing / bloated. Yeah, I don't want to add anything extra. I'm actually getting rid of things that aren't, you know what I mean? Just try to find the init.lua for any of the plugins using Telescope, and you'll see how it's looking weird. Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's even harder now than trying to abbreviate the path. Yeah, I know what you mean. Okay, so I don't see a way around that right now because I want the config bundled with it. You could call it something. You could put it under LV Galaxy line, and then you could call it something. Like you could call it like setup or something like that. You could do that. I don't know. How does the LV user module work? Is it still a work in progress? It's a small work in progress. I think this refactor is more important right now. And then we'll do that. Telescope actually is one that we're going to have to do. Because now you can just completely configure Telescope however you want. Turn off and on extensions, all that kind of good stuff. I don't even think I have what you call it set up for this right now. But when I expose this, you'll be able to easily add your... Oh, yeah. I think I can get rid of the extra Telescope stuff now from the config, because then you could just pull it in as a plugin and just say, like, hey, I'm doing it like this. That's probably how we will do it. And then this is the end of that. So then H is still there. That's great. So let's grab this. And then let's come over here. Config.lua. Paste this in. o.plugin.telescope equals that. We'll save that. Actions, we need actions in here. Now for actions though, we're going to have to check that we can actually require Telescope. There. Telescope actions, and then we can actually get rid of this. Actually, we could just call this actions. Get rid of that. Look at all those H's, and then that should be good. Now we still have this to contend with. o.plugin.telescope, and that's that. That's not bad. There's probably other things too though. Shameless plug, see 687 for my suggestion. I'll check it out. I'll check out 687 in a little bit. I want to get this done first, and then I'll check that out. This is trouble, yeah. We don't really need that right now. We don't use actions here anymore. Let's just get rid of all of the stuff in here, though. telescope. There is nothing in here for telescope, so it was never even configurable before, but now it's like entirely configurable. All right, and then we're gonna just do telescope.config down there so that you can actually configure it. I'm wondering if we even really need to require these. I think I don't know if you even need to do this. I'm gonna keep it there for now because it's not hurting anything, but this is a different one. That one's in repos and the Alright. Refactor, plugin, config. I should have put this in smaller commits, but I only have so much time. Alright, then we have Neo format. I'm not really going to play with Neo format right now but this would have been a great way to do Neo format and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be a great way to do formatter.mvim. MVim tree, look at that. We're going to be able to do MVim tree probably like entirely. This kind of sucks actually. Why is MVim tree like this? I don't like that it's like global. Whatever. There's got to be a way to pass this better into MVim tree. I'll do that later though. I don't see a good point in doing it right now. I do want to close an issue that I can close with Neo format. If format on save, so we're using format on save. Should that be called auto format or format on save? Auto format. Alright, we're just going to leave this format on save because that's what's there right now. We'll wait to do that in the future. Tree sitter is going to be another one. Debug, yeah. Did I do debug? I thought I already did. I didn't. Config dot Lua. I'm gonna not name that. Okay, and then we got this DAP breakpoint. And then we got, all right, o.plugin.dap equals, and then we're actually going to need another thing in here. We need it to be breakpoint. not worried about the other one. So then let's go back down to default config. And we got DAP. All right. Actually, wait. A lot of these we need to do an active thing on. Even telescope, because we could technically turn this on and off. We could actually totally turn this on and off now. I think I'm going to get even more lazy loading out of all this anyway. Active, false. Actually, we're going to say true for now. Well, this doesn't actually change anything. So I'll make it false. And then, let's be sure of that though. Lua plugins, attempt to index field debug. Okay, that's why. DAP also doesn't exist. Config, we need active equals false. Okay. We got that there, so then let's do DAP. There we go. All right, you do need that. Yeah, the inits are getting out of control for sure. But then again, if you are doing search and then if you did like which key, this is for text. Like it would take you to the init.lua for which key. All right, let's close that. Default config.lua. We're going to leave that open. DAP we can close now. DAP config we can close now. Neo format we can close. We'll get back to MVim tree another day. Java will close. Telescope. Close. Got the config there. We're going to be able to get rid of so many plugins with how this is going to work. lvconfig, python.lua, contributing. We don't need... Actually, I'd like to see with telescope. And then if we do vim enter, oh man, I don't know if there's one we can do. Maybe buff win enter. That's good. Cool. I did manage to tame the tree sitter installer. You can see how I'm doing it. I'm doing it through a cheat code. 75% of them. I do want to keep them there. I want actually all the default settings so that you can see them. You know what I mean? So like if you're a user, I want all the settings, all of the default settings, so that you can see what they are and then swap them out. Why am I using Neo format? Have you heard of formatter.mvim is Lua based? We have a giant discussion going on about this right now. So yes. I do know about formatter.mvim, and I do plan on implementing it too. Hey Chris, unrelated to LunarVim, do you use NVM for node and npm management, or do you just install them directly with a package manager? I use FNM. See, I got all these nice things that come with it, right? And then I can just do like ls remote. All right, these are all the node versions. I can do FNM install like 12. It'll install 12. I can alias them, and it's way faster than NVM. NVM is hot garbage compared to FNM, and I totally recommend FNM. So do you manage to... Yeah, I did manage to tame that. Yo, Chris, have you noticed the stuff like virtual text icons are really big on ST until we resize fonts manually? No, I haven't noticed that at all. Frenzy Boy E? What about E? Brian O'Driscoll, when you add this to the default config.lua to work with word wrap lines on convenient points. Set line break? What's in Rust? What's in Rust? Oh, FNM? I think, is that in Rust? I haven't checked the language for it. It is really, really fast, FNM, and it's just really good. NVM is dumb slow, and it's ultimately not good at all. Where? Okay, that's where that's doing that. This is like an odd way to do this. This is not how we do this other places. Why do we have it as a string there? Like that? Was there a good reason for that? I guess not. And actually, now that I'm looking at a lot of these, can we just get rid of this function here? All right. Clean up this file some. I don't even think we need the config stuff. Let's test that out. Broke that. Let's complain about something. Alright, that sucks. Alright, that's back now. Get rid of that one. How many things do I have open? And let's do that. Alright, that seems to be back. That looks good. Figure we might as well just test it out. 9 plugins by default now, by the way. Ah, what happened to Telescope? Just as I was checking that. Let's put whatever that was back there. Damn it. Still 63, that's odd. $62. I wonder what's slowing it down. O.line break? I don't know anything about that. It's a literal string in Lua. Okay, interesting. Well, I know it's a literal string in Lua, but it's just weird that you can pass that there, I guess. It's just odd to me. I don't know. Hey, Chris, it would be great if you could make short videos on how to set up LunarVim for specific workflows. I will be doing that. That's going to be happening, but I got to get it to a point where it's comfy first. Line break equals true works. Oh, also these things. Oh no. I don't think line break, wait. Doesn't seem to be a thing for me. Would have found it. Oh, it should technically be faster anyway because of all the lazy loading. We don't really start that many plugins by default now. All right, let's close this and this. That and this and this. Tree sitter is going to be a fun one to do. Right now I got all this extra nonsense in here. I got to like completely refactor this thing. I mean, this setup though is really doable to show. But I'll do that at a different time. That's the user. Utils. Vimtech should be one thing is this thing won't get there if it's not in here and required this way. That kind of sucks. No way of getting around that until I refactor the Lang stuff. Now these ones like TS Playground. Again, this is not a built-in though. That's TS Playground's not a built-in. Where's plugins? I know that I want it to be like in there, but yeah. Oh. What's the issue? Oh. Yeah, we really have to do which key too. Because you could just expose this whole mappings thing. Which I will be doing. And then, where is TS Playground? We're just going to do that. What the hell? DAP is a nil value? Shouldn't be. In plugins, the TS value thing. No. TS Playground. And then we have TS Playground one more time somewhere. It's in Tree Sitter. We're actually just going to do just false. That way the playground stuff can be there if you install the plugin. There we go. And we'll take this, move it into here. Just get rid of the U's. And we'll get rid of these, oops, these guys like that. Like all the uses have got to go because once they're gone, it's really easy just to pop them in. Hey Chris, it would be great if you could make, yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing that. In default config, line break equals true. Maybe put in a PR, I'll check it out. I guess because he's saving that as a string for Packer compiled. That's interesting. Maybe it's better to do it that way. Under wrap lines equals false. Works with, really, with word wrap? Oh, okay. Put in a PR. I'll take a look at it. Have you heard of nvim toggleterm.lua? It might be a nice replacement for fterm. I like fterm because, again, but fterm might eventually not be in the config. Indent line should probably go as well. Yeah, probably. Oh, my startup time goes up as well. I think this refactor stuff makes it slower than faster. Maybe. It can't be that much slower. Yeah, now your shell isn't painfully slow and start. Yeah, that was the problem with NVM. Yeah. It shouldn't make it that much slower. There's going to be less plugins though, so it's like... I don't know. It's not really that much slower, actually. Like, it's the same amount, really. Like, it's around 59 milliseconds. When I started the stream, it was around 59 milliseconds. So, it can't be that much worse. And we are going to be getting rid of other things. So, I don't think it'll be that bad. I think the thing that really slows things down is dashboard. Can I just, like, disable dashboard for a second and see how quickly things start up? 1 second. False. You save a couple milliseconds. What takes a long amount of time here? Like, where's a big jump? This is like a 4 millisecond jump right here. LSP config, but LSP config is fine for it to take that long. Like, where are the big jumps? Init.lua takes 10 milliseconds. I just don't see a way of getting around that right now. Opening all the buffers takes 7 milliseconds. There's a sizable jump around Vim enter auto commands. And then UI enter auto commands. It's not a long time though. It's definitely not a long time. Indent line can go, yeah. What am I using for profile? Just the regular startup time. Telescope takes long to load. Yeah, might be telescope too. I don't think I have the option for disabling telescope right now, but you will be able to do that as well because that's where it looks like the config is easily going to be going with this new refactor. It's going to be really trivial to change really anything you want, anywhere you want. 5 Zen on? Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's active. So Zen's also active right now. I can make that false. And then float term's also active. So this isn't like the base config. Get out of here. Get a couple tests. As long as it's like not slowing it down significantly or anything. Yeah, 55 milliseconds. Nah, it's probably faster doing it this way. It's almost certainly faster doing it this way with all these things out of here. Because I was also checking this, like, I used to check this, it was like 200 milliseconds on this machine. Yeah, you gotta keep telescope. We're gonna keep this. We're gonna keep this on true. And yeah. Now the other one is going to be, yeah, indent line. I'm going to keep it in there for now, but I probably am going to get rid of it at some point. A lot of the TS Rainbow thing, if playground's going, rainbow's going. So let's go and do that. It's not going to be hard to put this stuff back in, though. Like, I'll show you how easy it is in another video. Same with comment string should go. The extra telescope stuff should go. Lush eventually will go. All the extra language tools are... Yeah, they're going to... They're going to stay. Language tools will stay. Today will not be the day of tree sitter refactoring, though. Yeah, okay. This is all VimG stuff. I don't really like that. I wish it wasn't like that. I wish I like passed it into the require. Because then you have to like go through and write your own thing for it, and that's a pain in the ass. Let's see what else. It's not bad for an initial rewrite of a lot of these things. Hopefully someone caught on to what I was doing, and then maybe you guys can change some of the stuff. Maybe get FZY and a couple other things out of here potentially. We're gonna keep. So now the tides are changing for what's a built-in. I think diff view is good for Git and stuff like that. Obviously, everything down here in required is going to be a built-in. That's all going to be built-in. At least for now. And then... Yeah, dap install. What has to happen for dap install? Is there even a dap install in here? Dap install I feel like just kind of goes along with dap. So honestly, where is dap? Well, I don't even need the other one then, because what I'll do is just have them like both come in on dap. So like if we go to, because you're not going to want to use one without the other. Like that. And then we'll go into like that. I think which key is a good one to end on. And then eventually we got to go through and do the languages. Get them all out. Elixir and Tech are getting loaded. When? All the time? Wait, 1 second. Yeah. I wonder where that is. not taking a ton of time, but I don't know why that is. My MacBook Pro, it takes 200 milliseconds to load. What's the... it totally has a lot to do with your OS, terminals, like hardware specs, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I do have to update that. I don't think that there's a color scheme performance difference. Yeah, telescope is really configurable. Config LV Galaxy line.lua. I'll take a look, but how do I break it up so that it's two separate files, I guess? Do I like the shortened path? I'm not really worried about it too much. I usually know what I'm looking for. Do you like NeoVide? I would, but it doesn't work on my system. So... I would like to know what year your MacBook Pro is. And then also, could you tell me how fast vanilla NeoVim loads? All right, which key? Let me go look at this really fast. Did we hit 4,000 stars yet? Ah, so close. I'm missing 7. Expose float term config settings. I think we already did that. Fix telescope project not loading in dashboard. Doesn't this work? I think we have buff when enter already right now. $687, that's what it was. So there's config get signs.lua. Yeah, but then how do I split up the stuff that I have now? And then call it with things. Like, I see what your point would have been before this refactor. One second. Let's do which key really fast, and then I really wanted to get to formatter.mvim. Okay, so we got which key here. We're going to go over to which key config. init.lua, and then we'll take this. This should shrink this file a lot too, like that. And we'll come over to config and we'll paste this, and we'll do o.plugin dot which key equals this. Can also do active equals false because it doesn't change anything whether or not. And then I think we need something else too with this. Because that's the breakpoint. And you set these separate with these. Same thing with that, same thing with this. What about this? Yeah, see, we don't have like, this is another one we're gonna have to take a look at. Anyway, because then you got this false thing, so you're gonna need setup equals something like that. And then we can come back into init and we can do o.plugin.which key dot setup, and that gives us that table. Don't know why bar isn't working. Bar really likes to complain about stuff. Maybe, here we go. Oh, I know why. Default Lua / default config, jump to the bottom. And which, what am I naming this? I think it's which key. There we go. All right, that's all set up good then. And now if we come back into here, we have this config, we have this here, and now we're doing all this junk. That's just setting up things. This stuff we should actually potentially not set up here. Like that stuff's fine. This ops thing, yeah, that should go to config. And then, because then you can change the prefix, leader prefix from here. Oh, does that change this thing? That kind of annoys me anyway. I don't like that down there. Oh, never mind. Oh, wait. No, that didn't do at all what I thought it was going to do. Like, this is one that can be set. It doesn't have to be set here. This should be set in key maps. Just like, hey, what? Slow down. What just happened? Why does that open that up immediately? It's like I'm always pressing leader for P. Okay. I don't know what that was. Never seen anything like that. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna just try and get that out of the clipboard. All right. I think the setup part can just be in plugins.lua. That's a pretty big... I see what you're saying. Like the init part could just be there? Yeah. That's a good point, actually. That's a good point. I like that idea. I like that idea. That'll have to happen in the future. I think your idea is a good idea. Mine is MacBook Pro, Intel, Lunar's 200 milliseconds, Vanilla's 80 milliseconds. You're on an M1, Lunar's 120 milliseconds, Vanilla's 10 milliseconds. All right. That's not too bad. You have 16 milliseconds with 0.6 head on an M1. 16 milliseconds for what? Base, like just regular 0.6? I got rid of the tab thing because I think it's more intuitive actually to use Shift L and Shift H. I think it's better that way. Yeah, Windows is kind of a pain. That's all. I think I like your idea about the init thing, though. I think that's a good idea, actually. And then we can put it all under one big file called config. I didn't see it that way. Like, for instance, like Telescope now, that's all you have to put in there. All of them will be really small anymore. It'll really shrink this down, and then everything will become more obvious and easily searchable. Yeah, that's a great point, Hatsu. I think you're right about that. I like your idea. I now understand. $230, that seems too high. I don't understand. Like, why is my computer so fast? That definitely feels high. I don't really know what we can do to get that down. Because ideally, we'd like it to be a lot faster than that. Have you guys tried out anyone else's projects and seen how long it takes them to load? And also it depends on the file too, by the way. Like if you're taking 200 milliseconds to open up a Python file versus just a regular text file or something like that, then, you know. Yeah, that refactor is a good idea though. And the refactor obviously becomes more obvious, right? When you go and do something like this and then you realize how small this can all legitimately be. I think under which key we have config, and then we'll just rename it like which key or something like that. I wonder like how hard it would be to like go through and like do like get rid of this. Or wait, nah, that wouldn't work because yeah, never mind. But it'd probably be pretty trivial just to like move all of these configs to like which key, blah blah blah, telescope, whatever it is, and then just create a config directory and then just pop them all in there and then just like go and fix the path problems everywhere. That wouldn't even be that hard. And then you take all these inits and throw them. Question is like, yeah, these mappings, which key mappings. I think I'm just gonna keep this under which key as well. Grab that like that. Yep. And then really shrink it down this file. And you know what this does too? It really separates the data, which is just static data, from the functional aspect of the plugin. You know, like this is just pure data about which key. And then this here is the stuff you're actually doing. And then really what we're going to do is we're going to take all this stuff and we're going to move it. Like this buffer close thing, leader C, buffer close, like this lives with bar. That's just where that goes. Now this is going to change as well. Rolling is going to be a little bit confusing for a little while until we go through and we refactor all this. My minimal config with a good amount less code than Lunar loads 40 milliseconds slower than Lunar. Yeah, I told you. Even if Lunar is around 240 milliseconds on these laptops, anyone's minimal config with like only 10 plugins, even 8 plugins, probably still runs slower than LunarVim. It was like 1300 milliseconds before 0.3. Yeah, I did not care about lazy loading then, like at all. You can disable auto format and yeah. Yeah, we plan on doing prettier D and prettier and all that stuff when we do formatter.nvim. Yeah, formatter.nvim, yeah. That's when we plan on doing that. And we will be doing that. Renamed what? What was Mello's thing? Yeah, that should go in the testimonial section of the README. I like that idea. People forget I have this testimonial section. If you have anything to say about LunarVim, obviously positive. We don't take negative testimonials. But if you have positive testimonials, put out a PR and put something down there. My boy Juan Cordelezi. And this was hilarious. LunarVim probably does run faster than a lot of more minimal, air quotes, minimal. No active LSP. Java. Um, wait. Is this my Spring Boot application? Yeah. Are you on Linux? This should work very good on Mac. Did anyone ever figure this out? Okay, you think it's Neo format? Okay. It's probably Neo format then. Pyrate not working with Conda environment. I remember this. EFM is enabled for Flake 8. But that has nothing to do with his problem. All right. A 12-core processor? Jeez. I think I have 6 cores and 12 threads or something like that. You complete me? Who's using you complete me at this point? Yeah, compare it. Take a look. Oh, should you compare stable or rolling? Compare, let me push rolling and compare rolling. Let me make sure rolling works. Okay. More config, refactor. Now if we go over here, we do that, we have that. All right. Yeah, 0.3 was not good. It was loading a million plugins and it was slow and not good. Probably got a bad rap after that one. What's happening here? Okay. This is for the Explorer, so this should be separate. This should be going in MVim tree. Let's put this I don't even know. Here, I guess. That's not... That doesn't do anything anymore. I have this open up somewhere. This is old plugins, that's that. That obviously was not a good place to put that. This is the toggle tree function. It may have been because I needed to compile. Or not. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Let's see. Oh, you just saw the new logo? Yeah, I like the logo. Wasn't there a typo in init.lua? There was before, not anymore. Oh, LunarVim merch incoming? Yeah, there will be LunarVim merch in the future for sure. I'm going to buy a shirt with the LunarVim logo on it. I love that logo, man. Weiss made it. This guy Weiss, Simon Weiss. I'm going to get him to make more of my stuff. Empty the utils LV config. Yeah, I'm going to look at that. I'm going to eventually... yeah, I do need to change that. It's broken. Yeah, okay. Okay, let me solve this problem and then we'll go back. Well, whatever. I mean, yeah, we can solve that. All right, utils. There's 2 of them in there. Oh, there's so many things in here. All right, what's the best way to do this? The best way to do this is probably just to use the config that I have currently and pop that in there. Like this. And leave this stuff at the bottom like that. That's extra. We just have to make sure that one of them, this is no TS. That has to stay like that. And then we'll do, for this one, we'll do maintained. Yeah, I know. All right. I'll definitely make I'll make LunarVim merch. I need to get the if someone could send me a PNG of the LunarVim logo without a background, like transparent, then I can make the shirts. But I don't really every attempt I've had to try to do that, it never looks good. Alright, where the hell MVim tray is becoming an issue? Like, does that not get set? Like, why does that not get set? Like, doesn't this get called here or no? I guess maybe it doesn't. This is the toggle tree function, which does get called. I mean, I could just set it in here maybe. Feels a little side effecty, but whatever. What the hell? Whatever. Where's key maps? We're just gonna put it in key maps because this thing isn't going anywhere anyway. What? I mean, obviously it works in here. Other ones work. That's the only one that doesn't work. I don't know why it doesn't work. Interesting. And type sort. Maybe. I will eventually. Alright, you got it. 108 seconds for LunarVim and 89 seconds for a more minimal config, which is really good considering I barely have any plugins. How many plugins do you have in that other one? Just out of curiosity. Because we're going to speed up LunarVim. We're going to find a way to do it. It's going to be faster. This stupid thing. Does it work when it's still in which key? Piece of garbage. What is wrong with this? Oh, now it works again? That doesn't make any freaking sense to me. That really doesn't make any sense to me. I'm not going to move it, but... What? Why? It should be there. You know, I think I know why. Because all that stuff gets loaded before which key. And then maybe it gets... No, it shouldn't be overridden. Because it doesn't matter when that happens as far as I know. Oh, whatever. Let's see if the same thing holds true for telescope. What just happened? I think this is lying. Yeah, true. Yeah, that's easily lying. Yeah, see. Sometimes that happens. You need discernment. No, we don't want config. Got that in there now. Okay, that works. I mean, as far as I can tell, we might have to do a quick packer compile. Yes. All right, we're good. Current master is only 183 milliseconds versus what were you getting with this one? Install script doesn't work with rolling. Oh. Everyone's got this. Anyone who uses VimWiki has a funky VimWiki config. I don't think I really like. I don't know. I don't hate VimWiki. I just never really got into it. And Vim tree. We got that there. Dashboard. The comments are going to have to be put in a comment in the startup thing for comments. This was dashboard. All right. We'll just put it here. Any old place is probably fine. Then we'll come back into which key again. Yeah, like these ones are not which key specific. These ones can be put in key maps. Except for they don't register for some reason when you put them there. I wonder why. Is there something I'm overriding? I have no idea why they won't register. It says it's there. But then it doesn't do anything. $16 plugins? Okay. No Galaxy line? Interesting. I wonder about the dashboard one now. Hold up. Yeah, dashboard also doesn't work. But it's funny because one of the other ones does. I don't know why it would be like, okay, this, like, it like overwrites it or something. I don't know why that would happen. For now, I guess it's fine just to leave this stuff in which key. Until we figure out a better place for it. Or at least figure out how to get it to work in wherever we put it. Telescope worked. It's probably because of the Vim enter or something like that. So we just, I guess all leader commands will just have to go in which key for the most part. Because now I'm worried that the other one probably doesn't work in there too, yeah. Unless something's happening. This isn't terrible for a first go around, but it could be better. I really like Hatsu's idea for a refactor. Can't we override default key bindings in lvconfig.lua? You can. Why Vim vsnip over Lua snip or vice versa? I would probably do Lua snip because it's in Lua, but I just haven't gotten around to getting it to work. And someone put in a PR, but it wasn't perfect and didn't work. So if someone puts in a better PR, I'll do it. Making a tutorial how to install plugins. I'll do that in the future. Right now, I just got to get this thing. There's a good amount of refactoring that has to be done. There's a good amount of refactoring that has to be done. Mostly exactly what Hatsu wants to do is exactly what I want. There's a thing, search text, no wait. What does no wait do? I was kind of hoping that it did this, like if I set this to 1000. No, it doesn't do what I thought it would do. Yeah, okay. Wanted to try formatter.mvim out tonight. Looks like that's going to have to be later. Got it down to 169 milliseconds with VimWiki lazy loading. That's good. Alright, let's see. What's there really left to do besides squash bugs, formatter.mvim, refactor? There is one thing that might be low-hanging fruit that we could probably take advantage of with Packer. And it's something that I've been wanting to do that'll probably solve a lot of people's errors that they've been having lately anyway. Oh, no, that's not what we wanted. Packer. See this package root? First of all, I'm just going to grab both of these. And then, where's Packer? Got package root here. They put it in data site pack. What if I put it in LVim pack? And they get it from util. We're just gonna cheat really fast and grab this. Because, yeah, okay, whoops. That should keep the plugins decoupled, hopefully. And now if we go into config or local, I mean, yeah, this probably is not a, yeah, it's probably not a bad way. See how we have LVim in there now? We got our own path. It's pretty good. We could put it on the same level as NeoVim though. But I think I like putting it under NeoVim. Hey Chris, make a tutorial on how to oh yeah, got it down to 160. Oh, yep. Okay, updated to rolling 97 milliseconds. That's pretty good on an M1 Mac. That's pretty good. I think that's pretty solid. I think we're getting places. I think if we can get it down, if we got yours down to around 60 milliseconds, I think that'd be really, really, really good. I think that'd be something to write home about. We have our own package path now, though. I don't actually want the other thing. Alright, so now the LVim packages you install won't interfere with your NeoVim packages. That'll be good. That'll be solid. LVim is a little confusing while there is LVim NeoVim config. Oh. Well, LVim is the command I was going to go with if I ever put this thing in the AUR. It was always going to be LVim. Is it going to be LVim or LV? I could call it LV. It'll be LVim for now. Maybe it'll be LV in the future. I also don't think I care too much about the LVim config anyway. I'm not really worried about other ones. I like this one. I feel like we have something interesting here. Definitely want to do this config refactor. Let's go see if there's any other bugs that need to be squashed. I think I asked a question. Yeah, that was Java. This is fixed. Okay, good. LV telescope path display should be smart. That's something in the future that's going to happen. This Terraform stuff, nothing can be changed until Packer or formatter.nvim comes. This I'm not really too worried about. I would like to be able to lazy load a Galaxy line though. Huh. That seems to work. Alright, so it's just Astronauta, NVim LSP config, NVim tree, tree sitter, dev icons, packer, plenary, and pop-up. Wonder if we could add this to NVim tree as well. Why does it still say 9 plugins? Seems to work. Have I tried Awesome? Nah, I pretty much stay on DWM. I don't really plan on leaving. All right. I think we got enough factoring and refactoring done. I'll take a look at 799. What you can do is set NVim tree lazy loading on the key map for tree toggle, and then in the setup function remap that key map to tree toggle. Yeah, I've tried putting it on tree toggle before, and it's fought with me. So maybe, I don't know, I'll try to take a PR about it, but I don't want to try and do that. I'm going to look at 799, and then I'm probably going to end the stream. Really fast, though. You can find me out over on my website. You can follow me on, Odyssey. Obviously, my Discord. More people should be over on my Twitch account. Twitter. I basically just post about LunarVim right now. Something's happening. Yeah. Support me on Patreon. And yeah. I'm going to end the stream because I'm tired and I've been streaming for a very long time now. I'm trying to get this stuff working. All right. Without the BG on Discord, sweet. Let me check that out really fast. It looks good, but there's a line right here. And I don't know, it's just a little... Do you think it might be a little bit of like weird stuff on the edges still a little bit? Just a little bit. I want to get it to where it's like super high res. But that's way better than I've been able to do, so... Alright, anyway, I'm getting out of here. I will see you guys in the next stream, which will likely be tomorrow. Fatsu, if you're still alive, if you want to get started on that refactor, I already pushed a lot of stuff up. I think if I work on anything else, it'll be around formatter.nvim. I think that's where I'm going to focus my time. I'm trying to think of if there's anything else pressing. And then maybe getting Java to work on Linux, because that's kind of important for me too. All right, anyway, I'm going to end the stream. I'll see you guys next time.